Most developers think prior approval is just a formality, a quick box ticking exercise before they crack on with a commercial to residential conversion. But here's the truth: prior approval can make or break an entire project. Get it right, and you can unlock one of the most powerful planning shortcuts in the UK. But if you get it wrong, you're stuck with delays, redesigns, and a building that can't legally convert. So today, I'm going to show you how to navigate the prior approval process like a pro. So you can move faster, you can reduce risk, and you can build with confidence. Let's start with the basics, because most developers misunderstand this part. Prior approval is not full planning permission. It's a streamlined process that allows you to convert certain commercial buildings to residential homes under permitted development rights. But this is the part that people miss. So prior approval is still a decision-making process. The council will still assess transport and highway impact. They will assess contamination risk. They will assess flood risk, noise from commercial neighbours, and natural light in habitable rooms. Also, fire safety in larger buildings, as well as the external appearance for some of the classes. So while it's faster than planning, it's not a free pass. Think of it like going to the gym with a personal trainer. You still have to do the work, but the process is more structured, more focused, and then you get a faster result. So here are where things can get messy. Is most developers fall into one of two traps. Trap number one, they underestimate the technical requirements. So they think prior approval is just easy and you just bang in a submission. But they then put in incomplete drawings, vague reports, poor quality layouts. They have no daylight assessment, no noise assessment, no fire strategy considerations. And then when they get knocked back or it gets refused, then they're shocked. Track number two is they design the scheme before understanding the constraints of the building. This is a really big one. People create these beautiful layouts, but they don't meet natural light standards, or they fail escape distances, or they clash with the noise exposure from properties next door or the road in front, or they sit within a flood zone, or they require external changes that aren't allowed under permitted development rights. So it's like walking into the gym and you load up a barbell before you've learned the movement. You might lift it, but you are going to hurt yourself. Prior approval punishes guesswork. It rewards developers who understand the rules before they design. So I'm going to bring in another fitness analogy because it fits perfectly. When you train, you don't just jump into the workout blindly. You warm up, you check your form, you understand the movement pattern, and you prepare your body. Prior approval is the warm-up for commercial conversions. If you skip it, if you rush it, if you don't respect the process, you will pay for it later in the project. But if you approach it with discipline, with structure and intention, the whole development flows smoother. This is where your project management skills become a real superpower, because prior approval isn't just a planning exercise, it's a coordination exercise. You've got to manage, as the developer, the architect, transport consultants, acoustic engineers, a flood risk assessor, daylight specialists, fire engineers, potentially structural input. You need to bring all of these people together into a single coherent submission, all of that information into one. And this is where most developers fall apart, is they treat prior approval just like a form. It's not a form, it's a package. So you need to have that package needs to be accurate, it needs to be compliant, coordinated. It's got to be justified and technically sound. And this is why developers who understand construction and project management will thrive in this strategy. Okay, so here's the part you've all been waiting for, because these are the core steps to navigating prior approval successfully. Step one, we need to analyze the building before you design anything. So we need to check the flood zone. We need to check noise exposure. We need to check natural light potential. Access and highways is crucial. Neighboring uses, structural grid, and escape routes. This tells you what's possible and what isn't possible. Step 2, we need to build a compliant first layout. So don't just design for the aesthetics. We need to design for daylight. We need to design for fire strategy, acoustic separation, escape distances, service routes. Once the layouts work technically, then we can make the apartments beautiful. Step 3 is we need to prepare a strong prior approval package. What this usually includes is existing and proposed drawings, a transport strategy, usually a flood risk, noise impact assessment, some mention of daylight report if it's not obvious on the layouts, a fire statement may be required, contamination assessment depending on what the previous use of the building was, and a planning statement. The stronger that this package is, then the smoother the approval will be. Step number 4 is communicate clearly with the council. Be proactive, be responsive, and be professional. Councils really appreciate developers who actually understand the process. Step 5, expect conditions and plan for those. Prior approval comes with conditions. That's normal. So it's key to anticipate them and build those into your program. You might need to discharge them. They might be things that you need to formally tick off. So all of those things just keep into consideration. If you want to learn how to do this properly, not just the paperwork, but the real world project management, construction sequencing, compliance strategy behind commercial residential conversions, then this is exactly what we teach in our Northern Oak School community. We go deep into prior approval, PD rights, your layout optimization, fire and acoustic strategies, service design, construction sequencing, and real life case studies. So if you're serious about becoming a high performing developer, join the community of people doing it the right way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.